it's One-Armed Goblin. We're live. We're still testing some stuff, and I know we're late, so I'm sorry about that. But
I'll probably edit all this out in the YouTube video.
I know.
Is anybody watching this?
No.
This early?
No one's watching. We kind of have a really inconsistent stream schedule, which I'm not quite thrilled with, but oh well.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Probably start on time. But
Probably start on time. Hey, man. Never mind.
Hey, we try our best.
We do. All right. Before we get started, I guess I should know if our players are good to play next Wednesday.
I think so.
What's the date?
I'm flattered, but no thanks. Sorry.
Oh,
14th.
I should be free.
I'll have requests to work off, but it is important to note that work is officially starting.
Normally on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So check our schedule to get future updates on our channel. Okay. The bane of D&D.
It really is.
Okay. While we're still getting some stuff set up, I'm going to play the intro videos that normally, you can watch and it describes our characters. So enjoy those, and we'll be back in like 5 minutes. Hi, I'm the Dungeon Master for One-Armed Goblin. We're a bunch of college kids wanting to play more D&D. We're starting a new campaign soon, following the Tyranny of Dragons module, the first created for D&D 5e. In this story, a strange cult begins attacking the Sword Coast, hoping to gather resources to bring back their evil dragon queen, Tiamat, and the heroes go along to see what they can do to stop them, or to enact their own personal revenge. We will mostly be playing on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so check us out over at twitch.tv/onearmedgoblin. We'll also be posting the VODs to our YouTube channel. We hope you'll join us as we start this new story.
What is the first thought that comes to your mind when you think of adrenaline? For Ugdug Longtusk, hunting is the only thing that can give him that rush. This half-orc blood hunter is bigger than most and never leaves home without the two treasures in his life. His small, lovingly named Boarjaw and his pal, Truffles the pig. If you have a good story, a joke, or a heaping pile of meat, then know you have a friend in Ugdug. However, take caution when befriending Ugthug, for there is a fiend within him that occasionally likes to take control and go on a gore-filled rampage. This is less likely to happen the happier and stronger Ugthug is. So if there are friends nearby, good stories being told, and fresh meat to enjoy, then you're likely to be safe.
My name is Jeremis Ornithole. I was a guard captain of the city of Waterdeep, where I lived with my daughter Shay. One day, on the way back from the shops, Shay was robbed and murdered. Some eyewitnesses saw the culprit, but they were deemed unreliable, and a man was let go. Blinded by rage and my sense of justice, I found the man and put him to the sword. For my crime, I was banished, and now I wander the land seeking to use my strength to help those who cannot help themselves, and track down the organization my daughter's killer had been a part of.
The Shadowfell is a dark place, filled with echoes of sorrowful memories. For a shadow elf like Mealy, sunshine and laughter are unimaginable myths. So when Mealy's lover returned from the Sword Coast with stories of flowers and joy, Mealy knew he had to see Faerun for himself. Trained as a shadow dancer, he was in the right place at the right time to accompany Corvego on assignment from the Raven Queen. Coming from another plane of existence, Mealy often struggles to understand the culture and mannerisms of those around him, but thanks to his training in the shadow arts, he's better suited to hiding and listening anyways. In combat, he wields his whip in a graceful, dance-like performance, demonstrating his skill and agility as he channels the shadows around him to defeat his foes.
Today is your lucky day, because today you meet Corvego. I guarantee you have never met a man as gifted with a blade or as skilled in the arcane as I. For you see, Corvego is Ravenfolk and a devoted servant of the Raven Queen. In my past, I fell in with the wrong crowd. In desperation, I struck a deal with the Lady of the Shadowfell to become her servant in exchange for 3 gifts. First, the Raven Queen spared my life. Second, she granted me magical abilities. And third, she gifted me a traveling companion, a shadow elf named Mealy. Upon returning to the Sword Coast, Mealy and I embarked on a journey as adventurers. With a sword on my hip and a feather in my hat, I spend my time honing my abilities while fulfilling the will of the Raven Queen.
Why, hello, dearies. Let Granny take a good look at you. Granny has been a wanderer of the woods for many decades, but don't go asking Granny how old she is. Just trust I have a few words of wisdom up my sleeve. Here's a free nugget just for you. Don't live in the woods with worms. It never ends well, even if some of them are nice to you and your family. Just leave before you get burned, literally and metaphorically. Talking to the birds and trees brings me joy, as does giving away sweet little rock candy. Granny may look old, but never underestimate a furball of the forest.
Coming back. And welcome back. So, one thing we have to mention before we get started is that all music will be provided by Pocket Bard. We're using their app to get our music for battles, traveling, and everything else that we do today. If we do use miniatures and get into encounters, we have the credits for those in the first episode. But last we left off, our group of adventurers that have come together to try and find out more about this strange group that has been going around the countryside started to track them from the town of Greenest into the forest, and had found one party that was straggling behind, some kobolds and a few of the cult members, whether directly affiliated or otherwise. They told them that there was a rear guard up ahead somewhere. They're unsure at what point they would be reporting back to the camp, but we're told a basic location of where to possibly find them if they're still out and about, and the general direction towards where the group had made camp. And now we start after a short rest that the party has completed. What would you like to do?
See if my mic works, because we didn't check that.
I can check if you want.
No, that's fine.
It looks good.
Here, why don't you talk some more real quick? Oh no, you're in there. You're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Bro's chilling.
It's hard to remember 2 weeks ago where we were.
You had
Took a
just
short
taken
rest.
a short rest
We were gonna
after
go
eating the soup of the other people that you stole.
Yeah, our soup.
Yeah.
We were gonna go. Yeah, we're gonna go see what the Vanguard's up to, right?
Yeah, and I went and flew around, but I can't remember what I saw.
Not too much. It's mostly like the terrain differs a little bit here between outcroppings of rocks, scattered trees. It's not really a deep forest, mostly plains, but there are outcroppings of rocks here and there that do vary the terrain up a little bit. You didn't necessarily spot anything in particular.
Well, I'll come back and report. I didn't see much. Also, slapping your face is kind of in that camera. It might be good to
Okay.
I'll just sit back, recline.
Do you have any business before you set out?
I don't think we do.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's get going.
At this point in the day, it is late afternoon. The sun hasn't quite yet started to set, but you figure you only have a few hours before that time comes. And heading out forward towards where you were pointed, where the rear guard would likely be, you do find this area between two outcroppings, where it seems like the terrain goes right through the middle of the two. This would definitely be an ideal ambush spot.
Yeah, they told us about this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we should all go up on one side or pull a pincer maneuver?
We could just have an innocent old lady go through and see what happens.
That sounds like a great way to die, Granny.
If she dies, it's on her.
Let's
Wouldn't they recognize us from earlier?
Nope. Remember, we killed those two.
Yeah, a bunch of guys at the raiding Green Nest.
Possibly, but
True.
I can't imagine they'd notice us more than anyone else.
I like Jeremy's idea of waiting and then
Maybe having 2 groups go from different sides.
Or we could all just go to one side, but
That's
then we
true.
run the risk of some getting away and alerting the rest of the party.
That is also true. Yeah, I think for communication purposes, I think it would be best if we stayed on the same side.
Agreed.
Okay, we in agreement?
Yes.
Okay.
And as you do, hug the left wall. So we're
Hug the
going
left
to the
wall.
left side.
Okay.
Do we need a stealth?
Yeah. Please give me a stealth check.
All of us?
Yep.
I don't do good on stealth checks.
Oh, I do great on stealth checks. It's 23.
Nat 20 for 25.
Nice.
11.
My man.
11.
It'll be back.
4.
4. Okay. As you start making your way
Maybe
up
we'll move this a little bit.
around kind of the uphill ascent that this little outcropping area has.
All right, London, tell me when I'm good. I'm moving
Keep
the
going.
camera.
Right there. Oh, too far. Well,
That's good.
that's good.
Okay.
The light's a little in there, but it's fine.
This way, when I'm leaning forward, I'll get my.
As you make your way up, you come to this area that's a little bit flatter at the top. And who has the highest wisdom score?
Not me.
My wisdom is +3.
I'm stupid.
My wisdom's also +3.
Okay, I'd say that both of you, at this point, as you get to the top, you notice a little bit of terrain that is kind of dampened down in the taller grass. An area that someone likely stood for a long amount of time, or had trampled on repetitively throughout a certain time. But there's no one in the vicinity. It seems like it's late enough in the day, the rear guard likely headed further towards their own camp.
Rude.
That is rude.
Do I know that your bird dude exists?
My bird dude?
Have I
Probably,
seen
you've
him?
probably seen him. Yeah.
I'm just gonna kind of motion to you and be like,
Yeah. I'll tell him to fly high so he's not super noticeable, but also not scout ahead a little bit.
Because I forget details as a DM, is Cleo a he?
Cleo is a he.
Okay, my bad. You send Cleo up to scout around. Make me a perception check for Cleo.
Okay.
Using, your bird perception.
Yes. His perception is pretty decent. My roll is not, however. That's a 5.
5 days.
Cleo gets a little bit distracted. There's some movement in a tree nearby, so he decides to go check it out. It was a pair of squirrels that were fighting, and they were actually fighting.
Did he at least get some lunch?
If this were a
Would you
meme,
go for the squirrels?
a meme game,
If,
we would,
considering he's getting distracted, there's
go
a
over there and
decent
place
chance.
bets on the squirrel fight.
If you want to wager some gold amounts, you can.
I don't have any money.
don't have any,
They
no.
all got
Oh
stolen.
yeah. I was gonna say I can make a mock encounter of 2 squirrels.
No, I'll make you do that. Another time.
Another time.
All right. Well,
He does not see anything.
That doesn't help.
I suppose we.
Can I do look around to see if I see anything that would make me use my investigative blood hunting skills to see
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
$16?
16's pretty good. You do see that there are a couple other sets of areas where the grass is also kind of trodden down. One of them, you get more of a rear end impression in the ground. It was likely that someone sat here for a long time as they were waiting for potential encounters or anything like that. But then you do see a couple of spots that the grass is also tread down on, heading in a, I think, western direction. I could double check it, but in the same direction you've been traveling.
Alright. Let me look around. And I go down and start sniffing.
It smells grassy.
Gonna taste the dirt again.
Not that idea.
Very earthy, very grassy. You do get a little bit of a bug taste in there as well.
Gross. Alright, this way, fellas. As I point, and then I say, this is where they went.
Okay. Can I know what pace you guys would like to travel at? Slow, medium, or fast?
Probably medium.
We go Yeah, the benefit of slow is we can be a little stealthier.
Yeah, I assume the slower you go, the stealthier it'll be.
If that's why we're going slow.
Yeah.
I'm happy to go slower, but whatever.
Ask her if that's better.
I'll stick with stealth.
I'll stick with stealth as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Slow.
Slow pace.
Slow and stealthy wins the race.
Okay. I might be a little distracted here and there because we do have an amazing viewer that is helping us out with some sound on their end.
Amazing view.
Thanks.
MVP.
Okay. Do you want to, and I'll ask the party this, use your same stealth rolls?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
25 and a 23?
We'll keep
Can't get much better than that.
With a nat 22.
Yeah.
Heading further through the woods at your slower pace, you do know that you have a decent while to go, but at least since these tracks are fresh, you'll likely either not catch up to the group, or if you do, you'll be quiet enough as you do that it won't attract as much attention. You eventually make it through the forest to this large clearing. Well, it looks like a clearing up ahead, but also it's framed by the large uphill area around it that grows until it becomes large and very tall cliffs. In the middle, this clearing that you see in front of and past your vision seems to be the camp of what these people have made. The camp seems to have several tiers to it, as the land itself isn't flat. There are several on the cliff faces dottings of caves that lead some short distances and some longer, hard to see into. A couple of guard towers also litter the camp area, with kobolds and men and other creatures of different types mixing in. And it's hard to get a complete idea of the size of the camp from this low vantage point.
Granny can go scout ahead if we think that would be a good idea to get a better layout.
Or Vago can also
I
fly.
can also do that. I can do it from the sky.
And I can do it from the ground.
Having two fronts, not a bad idea. How stealthy are you?
I'm gonna wild shape into a cat
Okay.
and then just meow at him.
Just happened.
Meow.
I could have sworn that
It's
was
a
an
very
lady
old
just-
cat. Your little ends up being more.
Because
think,
it is still Granny.
I think this ought to work then. I was a little skeptical, but now.
Well,
Let's say meet back here in 15 minutes. If you're not back in 15, then we can assume that something's gone wrong.
Just be careful. I wouldn't put it past one of these little lizard guys to eat a cat.
Actually, let's say half an hour. If neither of us are back within half an hour, assume something went wrong.
Yes, chef.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I would offer to send Cleo with you, Corvago, but he seems to be distracted by something going on in the trees.
That's okay.
Okay. Are you going on the lower route or going up one of the sides of these cliffs?
I want to swing around the edge of the camp,
Okay.
just to kind of get a bearing on like the actual size and what kind of guards might be where,
Okay.
and if there is any kind of forest line or shrubbery line sticking more towards that rather than going into the actual camp until I
Right.
get somewhere that I think is more interesting.
Okay. Similarly with that, when you say edge of camp, do you mean the lower edge or the higher edge? There's not too much built up on the cliffs as far as the camp goes. There's one guard tower you can see that's pretty high up on the cliffs, but other than that, they're all in the clearing below. So do you want to sit like on the edge where the cliff starts, or do you want to go up the trail to the top and look down?
I'll go up and look down.
Okay.
I want to. What time of day is it?
The sun at this point would be just starting to set in the horizon.
How long would it take for the sun to like completely go down?
Probably another hour.
Okay, so that would be too long. I want to try.
That's also considering like the sun would disappear and still have light during
Yeah,
that
that's what I-
time, and
for
then
sure,
it would
for
go
sure.
away at the end of the hour.
For sure. I guess I just wanted. There's no like foliage or anything.
There is. So just to give you a better idea of what the camp looks like, both along the cliff sides, with the parts that do have a little bit of a flat area, as well as the bottom where the camp is set, especially close to the lower ground. There's boulders here and there, some of them large enough that you could definitely hide 1 or 2 people behind. There's brush scattered here and there all throughout. It's not very continuous, but there are patches where you could definitely hide amongst the brush, as well as the actual slopes themselves are inconsistent when they go between one tier to the next. So some of them do have areas where you can kind of hide in a corner, but it would be in plain sight, kind of just if you were seen from a different angle.
For sure. What I want to try and do is, strategically as possible, fly between these like different shrubbery or foliage points.
Okay.
But trying to be extra perceptive of when is a good moment that I can get in between them.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And are you doing this at the base camp level?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Because I don't know where she went, right?
I mean, since you're splitting off from the group at the same time, you'd be able to look and see where she goes.
And you went into the camp, correct? Or
Are we coming from the bottom of the camp,
Yeah.
looking upwards?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
So I'm gonna go up to like the first level to look down into the camp.
So you're going, sorry, the first level meaning is the lowest level in this sense? So
Yes.
like the highest level would be, let's say, level 3.
Yeah.
So you're going at the lowest and looking up, or the top and looking down?
The middle and looking down at the first level.
Yes.
Got you. Okay.
knowing that, I would go up to the top.
Okay. So, going about midway up these cliffs is going to require a little bit of climbing, if that is still per your interest.
I have a climbing speed.
Oh, yeah, because you're a cat. Okay.
That's good. Yeah.
I won't ask for any sort of check for you to be able to maintain your abilities to do that.
I assume I can just fly up the cliff.
You definitely can, and where you guys are coming from, you're far enough away from the camp that it's more of an uphill trail.
Mm,
The cliff is only once you get to the actual camp itself,
I see.
so it would be easy for you to just walk up. And I'm going to give it from your perspective first, since you're seeing the whole thing. A lot of the area of the camp is these circular tents, especially where the humans are staying, which is in levels probably about level 2, the higher area. A lot of these tents are in patches, a few here, a few there, but you notice one that's definitely a lot more prominent and bigger than the others. Probably where either the most elite or the most people stay. It's a little unsure. You do see that towards the lower areas, where a little more of the guard towers are set, you have a lot more of those lizard folk that you had run into before. The little high-pitched, annoying ones.
Maybe start with the K.
They might.
Sauce one.
You also notice a clear difference between the lizard camp area and the humans. The humans have it a lot cleaner, a lot higher in quality, where it definitely seems like the kobolds are getting the scrap of everything.
Revolution?
You also, give me a perception check, please.
Both of us?
Yeah,
Just me.
both.
That's not great. Sorry, what stat with this? Perception?
Yep.
6.
Okay.
13.
13. Okay. You don't really pick on many other details, other than you do see that at the 2 guard towers, one at the lowest point and one up at the cliffs, they do have an active guard. And it looks like, especially with the sun going down, the vibe of the camp is slowly starting to shift to more of a alert and protective side.
Has there been any prison-looking thing anywhere?
Not with your roll.
Okay.
And definitely not my role.
No. Hey, I think we got our first bot.
Yes. Now we're real streamers.
Don't worry, I can ban him.
I have an off-topic question once we
Okay.
have a chance.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, what were the cultists that we interrogated wearing? Are they just normal clothes?
Normal
or?
clothes, kind of more bandit clothing. You do remember that they also said that there were a lot of mercenary groups that had been
Right.
contracted onto the camps. and
I'm
they
just
seemed to be
wondering,
more
how hard would it be for me to just like rough my clothing up a little bit and just saunter into camp as a mercenary?
You could definitely give it a try.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
That's
you,
all I'm
You don't
wondering.
feel like that would be too out of character,
Okay.
but from this perspective, since you could also see that the camp tone is changing, you might want to do it sooner than later.
Okay.
Well, gauging however long it's been, if I'm not getting anything more, I'd turn around and go back.
Okay.
Sorry, what's on the top level?
The very tip top where you had gone is the top of the cliff looking down on all of the camp. That is what I would consider level 3, because that's what my map calls level 3. This is the highest point. It doesn't look like there's anyone up there, but there is a, what's it called? When there's like a flat part near the top of the plateau. A very, very tiny plateau that has a guard tower up near you a little bit, but still well enough away that you don't feel like they're going to spot.
Eldritch Blast.
At this point, if it's feeling like it's getting somewhat close to that 30-minute, I don't know how long this has all been.
I mean, we can kind of make time.
Yeah,
miss.
I would probably head back.
Okay.
Around this point too, being extra careful not to be seen.
Is there anything else you would like to do, Granny Cat?
No.
Okay. You all head back to the camp. In the meantime, they've probably been gone, I mean, with trying to get a good view of everything, maybe 15, 20 minutes. Would you guys have done anything in the meantime?
Make more patty cake with truffles.
Nice.
I probably just would have kept watch on the camp from our position.
Okay.
I would have pulled out a very old book that is more a binder with loose pages in it than anything, and looked at a drawing of a flower that's in the middle of it.
Okay, sounds good. And as the group reunites,
I don't know if what Granny saw, but it seems like there's separate tiers. There's those lizard folk again, kind of separated from the humans. There's a guard tower up on the cliff. Was it a bigger building? Just wasn't sure what it was.
there's still tents rather than like
Tents.
official buildings, but yes, there was one
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
much bigger than the others. Also, I forgot to mention where that guard tower is. The cliff does have like what looks like a rope ladder that has been hammered into the wall that they can use to get up.
Gotcha. Well, they have a large tent. I'm not sure if that's just for a lot of people sleep. If there's like a leader there, if there's like a prison there. Also, the guard tower on the cliff seems to have a hammered-in ladders, so that's how they get up there. I don't know if Granny saw anything
we should
particularly
start by
special.
taking out the guard tower.
It could help, but I don't know how many people are there. It's possible we make an attack and then they overwhelm us still.
You know, it's possible we might be able to just walk in. At least some of us.
I think I'm too recognizable.
Perhaps
I
you,
would
but
second to that.
What race were most of these cultists?
Most of the generic races you see around the Sword Coast.
So,
basically like player's
Not
handbook
definitely
races.
not these three, but
Not us
were there any
three.
other half-orcs?
Maybe one or two. Yeah.
Okay.
She's a cat.
Probably
Cats
a
are
handful.
common.
So
Okay,
the
perfect.
general idea of how sizable this group is that you got by watching from the cliffs, it seems like total bodies, there's not quite 200. Seems to be about 80 humanoids and about 100 kobolds.
But still way too much.
Just
A lot more than you think you could take on your own.
Yeah.
just basing it on how cohesive the group we've seen, or those we talked to before, seem to be. I don't think we would be noticed too much if, at least I don't think I'd be noticed if I dressed down a little bit and walked into camp.
I think Jermis is our best bet for sure.
I'm gonna
Ugg
unwild
thug.
shape.
Okay.
Ugthug might be able to accompany me, and if Granny comes in as wild shape, we take the two of you as prisoners, perhaps?
Also,
That does carry some risk with it,
I've
though.
recently come across a type of magic that lets me change my appearance, although it only lasts an hour.
We can try and look like those that we defeated,
Oh,
and
that's not a bad idea.
any of us that can't be disguised, we can take in as prisoners. Because it
Well,
seems
I
like
can
they're taking
also
some.
do that, actually.
And that could be helpful, because if we walk in, they ask us why we have prisoners. We say, we don't know. We were new. We were just told that we thought we were taking prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can ask them where to take the prisoners.
Well, if me and Mealy can disguise ourselves, it would be best if we looked like those two.
Plus, we also have all this treasure still, and I hold up the sack that we can use as our, to help
Buy our
convince
way in?
them.
Help
You know?
sell it.
Yes,
That's quite-
to help sell the act.
It's kind of the reverse. We're buying.
I think
it,
Granny
whatever.
should stay as a cat or some other animal, assuming you can.
I'm gonna cast disguise self to look like one of look like the guy I interrogated.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
All right, she could do that too.
Granny's got just enough smoker in her that she can make those low voices.
Alright, well, since Granny went, we should make this quick. So why don't you look like the other guy?
I'm gonna just start tearing little holes in my clothing, just roughing myself up a little bit, maybe pulling off a sleeve and like tying it around something like a little sash.
Okay.
And I'll just try. I mean, I'm sure I've seen hundreds of humans. I'll just try and look like a generic guy.
Okay.
Bob.
My name is Norman.
I do disguise self to
Okay.
look like it.
I'm gonna dumb myself down a bit. I'm a little too intelligent for that.
Okay. So,
Why are you laughing?
Before we go in,
Oh, no reason.
There's not any reason.
is anyone good at smooth talking?
Oh,
I am not.
That's not.
oh, that is.
That's
That's-
you,
that
but
is
that is
exactly
definitely.
I'll
him.
leave the talking to you then.
This is why we have Corey.
We do have these goods that we can try and convince them, and if all else fails, do we have a point we need to meet at if we get separated? Back here, I suppose, or
We could
Yes.
go back to where we saw the potential ambush if we have to.
could be
That's a
helpful.
good idea.
Let's go where I sniffed and licked.
Yes.
All right,
Additionally,
That is
Sniff
quite
and lick.
memorable.
that will be the rendezvous
I
point.
could
then.
not forget it if I tried.
when all of you get in, if you get caught in the middle of some babble, I will do my best to sneak away and try to find where this prison is, so that we can then potentially spring him in more of a surprise.
Remember, we do have to be out within an hour.
Yep.
So let's be quick.
All right.
okay. I'm going to ask for a deception check from everyone that is not disguise self.
Oh,
Oh, so me?
so
Then
you and
we-
Jeremis.
What? Ruh-roh, Reggie.
Just a general deception one.
Oh, never mind. That's 20.
Nice.
31.
Dirty one.
That is really funny that you're the least convincing.
I'm a guard captain by trade, man. I don't know how to act like a criminal.
That's fair.
As you walk
I'm
in,
just gonna stay quiet though. That was my
As
plan.
you walk, yeah, I understand. As you walk into camp, you are first stopped by as you get close to the first guard tower, where you hear, as you're walking up, does anyone speak Draconic?
I do.
You
I do.
Okay, you hear these lizard men talking to each other, saying just a little bit of a like, tomorrow morning we get more food, and then the first one says, that's how days work. But they're just kind of chatting about like general, very low intelligent kind of conversation about trying to get more food and doing their job. And as you approach, they switch to common and shut up. Who? The guard came back. Who are you?
The guard came back.
Take the rear guard.
We are the guard.
We're the stragglers.
We are.
We are what's left.
Took a little longer than anticipated.
Why?
There was a fight.
Yeah.
There were a couple of small runts like you that wanted to go catch some things, and they slowed us down a bit and ended up getting themselves killed.
And do you wish to slow us down even more than we already were?
Make a deception check for that, Corvego.
I'm gonna hand you a rock as we do this.
What does that do?
Guidance.
Oh.
It's a rock. What do you expect?
It's on me. I
Throw
bet that
it at
rock
someone.
tastes great.
Okay. That's 16.
The good news is if we fail right here, we can always book it.
Yeah, true.
Fine. Go in.
All right, we'll
Go.
We
We're
walk
going.
in.
Don't rush us.
I thought that we were trying
They
to
kind of, at
not
that,
let them slow you.
slink back a little bit. And let
Yeah.
you go.
I'll give him a glare as we walk by.
Okay. As you continue on this lower area, it seems like all these tents are the shabbier ones that all the kobolds are staying into. So it would make most sense for you to hurry through and probably just go into level 2.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
We do that.
It seems like we can push our weight around a little bit with these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that in mind.
Who has the highest passive perception between the two of you?
Not me.
11. Oh, wait. Yeah, 11.
11.
13.
13.
How do
With
we
the
do 11
13,
with
as you're going up...
I was wrong. I was looking at my saving throw earlier.
No, you're fine. As you're going up to the higher areas of camp, where all the rest of the humans are, you do spot off to the side a few chained up individuals that are getting their manacles stuck onto what looks like just a couple of sticks in the ground. Likely this is where the prisoners are. And you see one that is kind of on a platform elevated away from the others, and he looks a lot worse shape than the rest of them.
Does he match the description of Nessim
Waladra.
Waladra?
He matches the description fairly well, except even a little thinner than you probably were told, and definitely a lot shabbier than the
So
description.
he looks like a beat up version of Ness and Waladra. Okay.
Could be, yeah.
Do I need to point him out and the prisoners out to everyone?
That's an option if you would like to.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, there's some people that might be interested in us, and point towards the prisoners, or like motion towards the prisoners.
Poor saps.
Are there guards in this room?
It's not really a
We're
room.
outside.
Or sorry,
But,
in this area
vicinity?
is what I meant.
Guards is a loose term. There are people doing work here and there, but it's not like people are just standing guard, except you do see at the very, very large tent that you had spotted from above. They do have 4 more ready guards, and also each of them has a guard drake at their side.
How far away are these prisoners?
The prisoners themselves, probably like 200, 300 feet.
Okay, that's too far.
Are we? So they're far enough away that we can talk without.
I mean, whispering through the crowd, it's not a quiet atmosphere as well. These people, while they are tired, they're also kind of celebrating a bit of a victory.
Mm-hmm.
And with 80 people throughout this entire level, it's very broad, so they are well spread out, but there's definitely a lot of conversation already happening.
Let us get a little bit closer to the prisoners. I can
Oh, come on, guys. Let's move it along. I'm sick of carrying this bag.
speak to them from a distance.
Sorry, you are the most capable of carrying and not as senior as us.
Whatever.
Is there anybody that looks like in charge that's handing out manacles?
With the prisoners, there was a couple of people accompanying them that are the ones like attaching them to their posts.
I'm gonna go up to one of them if they're still there or
Yeah.
even walking away.
They're kind of like finishing the job and turning as you approach.
Okay, I'm gonna say, we've got a couple more. Can we get some extra sets of cuffs?
More prisoners, where?
Right here.
We're all disguised.
I thought we were bringing prisoners.
No.
Hey, we're committing to it.
Which
though.
of these is the prisoner?
I'm gonna point at the orc.
I did nothing wrong.
Don't worry, we've subdued him already.
He looks big enough to do some work.
I got my stuff stolen. I'm pissed.
Yeah, we could break him down.
Break me down. I like to see you try.
They come towards you with manacles. What would you do?
Just careful.
I'll walk over to him
Yeah.
and grab his arm, and I want to try and very quietly, as I pull his arms behind him, to say, whisper, "It's just an act. Just play along."
I'll just hand my I'll hold out my hand for a set of manacles, if they hand it to me.
Both of them are prisoner.
What? Just the orc.
Oh, you're holding it out as in here, give them to me?
Yeah.
My bad. I thought you were like, okay. I'll give
Take me,
I'll
I'm like, give me a set, I'll go put them on him, kind of a thing.
We can take care of it. We're in charge of this right now. Who are you supposed to report into?
I don't remember his name. I just showed up. I don't even know where to put this bag.
Loot bag?
Yeah.
From the town? Jeez, you showed up late.
Yeah, we had some trouble on the way here. Counted this guy.
I want my stuff back.
You're not.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Take your spoils up to one of those guards at the tent there. They'll take them into someone. Probably Master Moldoff.
Alright, are you going to hand me the manacles or what?
He goes up and starts putting them on. He had specified, this is our job. So, he's going to manacle half work.
Okay. As soon as this guy, leaves, because he said he was leaving, right?
I mean, no, they're handcuffing your friend and bringing him over to the prisoner posts.
Oh.
They're not
That's
just
fine. I
going
wanna
to leave.
I know, but I want to follow them to it.
Alright.
Can I get to about 120 feet from the guy that looks like Nessim? without
You
like
would
restoring
probably
too much?
attract a little bit of attention if you tried to.
Okay.
I think we were walking over that direction with the prisoner, though, aren't we?
Are you all trying to accompany the prisoner if they had already come over to like? Well, you'd probably be within 120 feet at this point. That's a good point. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to cast message, and just kind of gesture in the vague direction of the guy.
Okay.
Trying to not let people notice. And I'm just going to whisper, "Are you Nessun Maladra?"
You see, looking over there, a bit of a jerk. Who's there?
Answer the question. I may be of help.
Yes. Also, DSSFCCDHRX, thanks for the follow. Sorry, missed that.
Homie.
I'll say, we'll stay in touch as I can. Is there anything important I need to know?
How much can I tell?
Only a little at a time.
What do you say? I don't know if I can trust you yet. Who are you?
Trying to remember this dude's
I
name.
can't remember the guy's name.
Leosin.
Oh, Leosin, yeah. Friends of Leosin Arlenthar.
Now, at this point, every time you cast a message spell, you do have to point over with your copper wire. At this point, since you've done it a few times, I will ask for a sleight of hand check.
Okay. I don't need to point with the copper wire because my focus
is your
is the
sword.
one.
Right.
But I will do a sleight of hand here. That's a 22.
Yeah, that's a good roll.
Yes.
He would kind of gesture, like, just with his eyes, not with his full head, to an area exactly opposite of where you came into the camp.
Mm-hmm.
Turning and following his eyesight, you do see it leads up to an edge of the cliff where there's one cave that seems to be both bigger in entrance than the others and also has guards set outside of it. And he'll say, they're doing something in there, but I haven't figured out what yet.
If there's anything else important, speak now. Otherwise, we'll come back to you later.
Be careful as you're snooping around. That's all he'll say at this point.
Okay.
I'm still following him.
Okay. You got
Guys.
some sort of gripe against this guy personally?
No, he's just could be a handful.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just want to make sure you get there.
Understand.
And I have some questions.
As they're being real gruff with you as they're pushing you along.
I'd be gentler if I were you.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, knock it off.
Shut up, or I'll give you the business I gave your buddy.
You feel a fist hit your side at this be gentler. And you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Dude's got the flipping
Jeez.
One Punch Man over here.
What kind of gauntlets does he have on?
Quiet.
You're gonna regret
And he
that.
pushes you up towards this post and starts securing you up to it.
How far away are we from any other group?
Not
Guards.
too far.
Not too
like,
far? Okay.
Definitely within 100 feet.
Darn. I was like, what if we just knocked him out real fast and put
Nah,
them down like
you're
they were
definitely
prisoners?
within eyesight
Yeah.
of a few
Well, I
different
know.
groups of
Wouldn't
people.
work.
Get into a scuffle and the two guards get knocked unconscious.
I'm going to cast a message towards Ugthug.
Okay.
How sturdy are those manacles?
How sturdy are their manacles?
I mean, if you're asking that in terms of could you break them?
Yes.
Not really, without some
It's like a-
real helpful magic.
It's like a DC 20 strength check to break manacles.
Is it? It'd be hard.
There is a check on it, but
Yeah.
it's very hard.
How close are like guards watching these like prisoners?
From the behavior of these people, it doesn't seem like they're going to be left alone. until relieved or otherwise, these people are set to keep watch over the prisoners until someone switches them out.
As we're walking, oh no, I guess I don't know if they've put him down yet. If we're still walking.
Well, I'm on the post.
Yeah, he's on the post.
I want to ask them or anyone that's close, like guards.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have a short rope, maybe like 5 to 10 feet.
Why?
This one can be an issue. I'm very good with knots. I want to try and get him a little more restrained than he is.
I can tie him up more. Sure. No, go and fetch another rope.
Yeah, let me do it.
Okay. What are you doing?
I want to go behind because I'm sure his hands are behind his back, right?
Yeah, and he's kind of like sat down on the ground, tied up next to this post.
I figure
the ties like do go across the torso and tie him to the post.
Okay. So, what I'm gonna do is tie his arms, but try and because I have thieves' tools, I want to try and pick the lock while I'm doing that.
Okay.
Escaping the manacles requires a successful DC 20 Dex check, or breaking them requires a DC 20 Strength check.
So probably a DC 20 lockpick check I would ask for.
Real quick, do you want me to do a sleight of hand first? Or
you can roll them in whichever order you would like to.
Okay, I'll do sleight of hand first because it's more important for me to be stealthy in this moment than to necessarily break them.
Okay.
Because I feel like if it fails, I can come up with a plan B. You know.
As I'm kind of seeing you doing this, I'm gonna just palm you another rock
Throw
and
a
tell you
rock
to
at
put
my
it.
head
Tell
and
you
it
to put it
falls
in your
down.
mouth.
I'll put it in my mouth, like I
Okay.
can throw it up into the air and catch it in my mouth.
Okay.
Kind of just like playfully trying to show that it's just like a food.
Piece of candy.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
a very colorful rock. That
Okay, that's pretty good. That's a. Except I'm still gonna roll. Okay, that's a dirty 20
Okay.
for sleight of hand.
You
Okay.
guys stink.
As
So-
he's doing this and going and moving around back, I'm gonna walk up to Ugthug, and I'm gonna just be like, "You piece of trash," and like go to his mouth to put a rock in his mouth, and then like fake slap.
Give me a deception or performance check. Your
Okay.
choice.
By the way, I'm gonna do the check to pick it. Oh, that is not gonna work.
Oh.
It's worth a shot.
Yeah.
That's a
You still have-
10.
Okay.
He does not. It's one use. That's a 19.
Now, did you give yourself guidance on this? Because since guidance is concentration, I would say that you could have given it to him for his thing or done yours since they were done simultaneously.
Okay, 16.
Okay.
Still not bad.
I mean, all this rock stuff was already a little suspicious, and you aren't really on task for this. So they do see you going forward with the rock, and they're like, "What was that? What'd you slip him?"
A rock? He likes chewing on rocks.
I'm an orc, not a.
Verbal.
What?
I don't know.
I've got another one. You want a rock?
Why are you giving everyone rock? I don't-
Because they're
just get out of
tasty.
here. Go back to your job.
All right, bye.
I don't care.
Jeez, these guys recruited some weirdos. I'm gonna walk towards the big tent with my bag.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with you.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go the opposite direction.
Okay. Kind of split up.
Yeah.
Okay. Understood.
While we're separating, I'm gonna message him, Granny, and report about the cave.
Okay.
That was pointed out to me, so that both teams know about it.
Can I respond?
Yes.
I'm going to head there right now.
Okay.
And I'm gonna start going that way.
Okay. So you're going. Is anyone going with Granny, or is it just everyone spread out?
I was walking with the bag towards the tent to see.
Right.
I want to
I'm
stay
with
nearby Ugthug. I just want to make sure I always have eyes on him.
Okay. Just kind of like milling in with the area, but like
Mhm.
within eyesight.
And
Really?
I'm with Jeramis.
You're with Jeramis. Okay.
Mhm.
You two go up to the tent to kind of hand off your sack of treasures. As you're getting close, but before you have reached it, kind of that 30 feet out thing, when they see that you're definitely making your way for the tent, a couple of the guards are going to walk forward and say, "Stop right there."
Just bringing this.
Oh, straggler? Alright. Hand it over. And they'll walk forward and grab it from you.
There's just 2 guards with 2 drakes.
Yeah. Unless told otherwise, go ahead and relax. It's been a long day.
Alright.
But jobs will start up soon, so just keep your eyes open.
I was hoping we could get closer. But I'll turn and walk off then.
Okay.
Maybe try to go find where Carson went.
Where were you headed?
I was
sitting
Right, you were just
sitting
kind
there
of
watching
Okay.
him.
Okay.
I-
Granny, you said you were trying to go up to the cliff where this cave is?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and trip near a pile of rocks or like a shrub or something.
Okay. Before you even get to the cliff, like at the base of it, there is like a rope ladder heading up. So are you tripping like before you hit the ladder, or are you
Yeah.
climbing the entire? Okay.
Like pretty much as soon as I start walking away after I get this message, I'm
Okay.
gonna try.
Not
and-
hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as I trip and fall, I'm going to wild shape into a spider.
Make a stealth check if you're trying to hide this. If not,
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to trip.
right.
Near some foliage.
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 Foliage, that's the word.
It's more fun to say foliage.
It is.
That's true.
14.
14. Okay.
What's gonna happen, Mr. DM?
That's a good question.
You should have just acted like you were going to take a pee.
That would have worked. As you do this, you do hear from a couple nearby people. Where'd that guy go? And they're kind of moving towards your location.
Yeah, I want to hide.
Are these the
in-
guys from the prisoners, or are these the?
No.
Dang it.
No.
I'm gonna try to hide either in rocks or bushes or something.
Okay. Are you just like a normal spider, like tiny?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
a tiny beast.
Okay. I'm gonna have them look for you with disadvantage because you're so small. There are 2 of them. Okay. And your stealth was a 14?
That's my stealth is Granny. The spider gets a +4 to stealth.
Okay. I mean, with the same roll, that would make it a...
Add 3, so that would be 17.
Okay. They're very thorough. And there are a couple of times where you, like, have to, like, lean away as a hand comes to, like, part the area that you're in the grass and move the rocks and things. But wherever they think you went, they're not sure anymore. But they do know that something happened.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Okay, I'm just gonna go up the wall
Okay.
once they leave.
Okay.
And then I'll go up the wall, and I want to go. Once I get to where the cave is, I want to go up so that I'm on the ceiling, going in on the ceiling.
Okay. To do so, you would have to pass by the guards. As you do come up and go across, it is a fairly like empty area right in front of the cave. Since it seems to be fairly important, they've kind of just cleared it. You see one of them just be like, ugh, I hate spiders. This is why camping's the worst. But he doesn't necessarily go out of his way to step on you as you go into the cave.
Yeah. So I would have given like a wide berth to the
Yeah.
entire cave entrance, gone up the wall,
Yeah.
and then over to go on the ceiling in.
Okay, understood. Oh, gonna make me run 2 chapters at once.
Are we not supposed to go in there yet?
I mean, you're supposed to do whatever you want. I'm God, I can decide.
Yeah, true.
Okay. Granny, as you enter, you notice a few things about this cave. Number 1, especially as you enter, from like floor to ceiling, and I'm gonna switch the music because cave music is rad. Sorry. From floor to ceiling, the different distance is about 15 feet. The area that you're immediately entering is fairly brightly lit from the rest of the sunlight making its way in, as well as the small amount of torchlight that is in the area. And you hear from the entrance the gentle noise as wind comes and hits into the mouth of the cave. You notice that there are a couple of people wandering around, mostly kobolds, as you enter, as this area does seem to be restricted from the common rabble. However, it seems like they do use these as some sort of milling about guard that patrols the area in general. You notice the 2 guards you passed by were dressed in a very specific purple set of armor, Rather than the rest of the group that seemed to either not be in uniform or be outsiders from the cult that had been hired on, these ones are official guards. You can also see that this main area of the cave is fairly large and open. There are a couple of like natural rock fixtures that form almost like pillars, keeping areas of the cave up, but it's fairly wide and open as the cave goes in and slowly curves just a little bit in the right direction.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going in.
Okay, we'll come back to you.
Okay.
The rest of you, are you doing anything knowing that you have your time limit?
How long has it been?
How long do you want it to have been? I mean, getting up into the area would have taken like a minute or two. So like, it could have been 5 minutes. You could chill for 20.
I wouldn't leave until like last minute.
Okay. Is there anything you would like to actively do, or are you just milling around?
One thing I want to try and be perceptive of is see if like guards are walking in a like specific pattern, like if they're told to walk in a specific like pattern, like around the camp, or if they're changing shifts.
Okay.
Anything like that.
As far as guards go, it seems like they're heavily relying on the vantage point given from the 2 towers that are set up. Each of these towers is about 20 feet tall, so they give, especially the one on the cliff, a decent view of the camp and its surroundings. And that seems to be most of their vigil, other than the ones right in front of that large tent. As far as like different groups being like, there's not really a patrol, but you do see these people in these kind of more purple attire going about every once in a while and just grabbing a couple of people and like assigning them to a task to do, basically.
Does it look like the guard towers have any somewhat significant blind spot?
Not really, since they're elevated among their surroundings, and since they have multiple guards up there that can see in different directions, it's hard pressed to know about a singular blind spot unless it's like you're hiding behind some of the boulders that they might not be able to see from their angle or something.
That makes sense.
Is it just a couple? Like, is there like one guard per tower, or what's the deal?
No, so specifically the towers, the one at the bottom was full of kobolds. The one at the top, let's see if it specifies. Unless I tell you otherwise, they probably have like 4 or so guards that are just kind of like watching.
Do you think we could, leaning into you guys and just kind of chatting, I think we could convince those 4 guards that were there to relieve them, and then sound a fake alarm to get some of the camp to go running off into the woods?
There are only 3 of us.
Well, we could say we don't know who the 4th one is. He should be showing up any time, but they can go get some rest.
And if there's one left, then we have to take care of him?
I don't know. I imagine these guys are wanting to go to bed or
they're
rest.
kobolds,
It's
right?
been a long day.
The lower one is kobolds.
I'm saying
the
the
upper one is like human or.
Does it have access to the top of the cliff?
I don't think so. I think it only has a ladder going down to the camp.
Could be worth a try.
Could be worth a try.
That's just a thought. I don't know if that's what we want to do, but I'm just trying to think of a way we can get some of the camp diverted so we can free these prisoners.
You know, I speak the language of these lizards. Why don't you two, unless you feel like you need my backup, why don't you two do that? I'll go walk around some of the lizards, see if I can find out anything.
Perhaps you could start a revolution, tell them to raid the big tent where all the goodies are.
Perhaps. Maybe they're too devoted to their queen.
They seem too afraid to do that, but it's worth a try.
Does that sound like a plan?
I mean, I'm not much of a smooth talker, but...
Neither am I.
See, I am quite adept at that.
I don't think I'm very convincing. I've already probably talked more than I should.
Okay, let me come with you then.
Okay.
Do we think that'll work?
I have no idea.
And what's the end game? I don't want to attempt it if we don't have an end game or like a goal.
Actually, let me go walk around these people, see if I can find anything out.
All right.
When you say these people?
The kobolds.
The kobolds. So you're going down into the lower area to talk with them? Okay.
Act with disdain.
I will.
There are tents here and there for the kobolds, mostly made out of bone and hide. The hide that they do have is kind of torn and not properly stitched together. And they're a lot shorter of tents than the other ones that were around. But there are also some that are definitely out in the open. So you could either approach the ones out in the open, the ones at the tents, or the ones at the guard tower at the entrance.
Sorry, can you just repeat that one more time?
Would you like to go to the tents and try and get some of the ones in there? Try to talk to some of the ones in the open? Or go to the guard tower that they're manning?
First, I don't necessarily want to talk to the ones out in the open, but I kind of just want to walk and see if I can eavesdrop anything.
Okay. Most of the conversation you hear eavesdropping is people looking over at you and saying, "What's he doing down here? He shouldn't be here." That's the initial first reaction that a lot of them have.
Man,
it's this mixture between... Make an insight check for me.
I feel like I always know what I would do in someone else's situation, but I never know what to do for myself. It's like if I was playing a different character, I'd totally do this.
Yeah.
That's a 12.
Okay. With a 12, you'd be able to tell that part of that is kind of this it's not this gross, what is he doing here, or even this this is strange. Well, it is definitely strange to them. But you get the impression it's more of those people don't tend to like us. Why would he mill about with us? And as they move away from talking about you, as you continue forward, you would overhear things like, "I wonder if he's trying to rub something in our faces, but he doesn't know we serve the dragons."
That's really good I heard that, because I almost messed stuff up. I want to pull one of them aside. Specifically the one that said something about the dragon.
You just turn around and go up to the guy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You grab him and he just kind of...
Come with me. And I want to try and drag him somewhere where... I'm sure people are watching this for sure.
Yeah.
But far enough away where I think I can whisper to him without being overheard.
Okay. You bring him off to this area and he's like, did I do something?
And I'm going to whisper to him in Draconic, "I hear you worship our queen."
Yes, we all do.
I understand. I need you to be quiet, though, if you want your life. I'm not an enemy. I'm a servant of our dragon queen. I fear that some of the humans up there aren't quite devoted to her. And I feel like actual lizard folk like yourselves might know a thing or two more than these absolute fools.
Yes. Yes, we do. We've always served our queen. We've always been excited for the day.
Perfect. What is that day? Explain it to me.
The day that...
If you don't know, it could cost your life.
Okay. Make an intimidation check for me.
Okay, I'm a +7. 14.
Okay. Well, he's already scared shitless, so... that was just...
Also, this is all in Draconic.
Yeah, this is just how scared shitless he is.
Yeah.
We've been gathering the offerings as we've been told to offer up to the queen, to give her the power she wants and the horde that she deserves.
I need you. This is very important. What is your name?
Grimthin.
Grimthin. This is very important, so hear me carefully. I have overheard that many of the humans are going to take the queen's horde for themselves. They're going to try and cause her return to not happen.
Have you informed Master Mondath? Or even... Sorry. Master Esmir. Master Esmir should know.
I will get to them. I wanted to go to my lizard friends. I'm going to try and say that in kind of like a more heartwarming way than I have this whole time. Because I don't know how deep this betrayal goes.
Master Resmir should be the first one to know. She
Tell me-
knows what to do.
Tell me where she is.
In the big one, the dwelling up there.
What I want you to do, spread the word to all of your lizard friends. But make sure, don't let the humans know.
Spread the word that they're traitors.
Don't you think your fellow beings should know?
Yes. Yes. We'll wait for Resmir's orders.
Understood. I will go meet with Resmir. But remember, spread the word.
Okay.
I really need to know what she looks like now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, before he goes.
I was only joking about the rebellion, but I'm so excited.
Yeah. I know. I got that idea in the moment. I was like, I could do this. Before he goes, how do I play this off? One thing you need to know, I've been working undercover for our queen. I don't work for those stupid humans. Unfortunate reality to that is I'm not quite as familiar with the leadership. I need you to tell me what is important and who is important.
Sorry, 1 sec.
3 chapters?
No.
And being draconic really came in clutch today.
Yeah.
Maybe my gnomish will come in handy one day.
Yeah.
Doubt.
Maybe we'll come across a cult where
Maybe
then
my
run by
common
gnomes.
will. Oh wait.
They're trying to bring back the giant gnome, which is just a dude.
What are you called? Big one.
I'm
No.
Trashir.
I'm gonna say, now you know how it feels every time you ask the DM for a name.
Okay.
I'm going to try and say, I may look human, but really I'm a dragon. And I can't finish my sentence. I promise it makes sense.
Big Master. I am not worthy. He falls down to like his
Get up now! Alright, tell me about the leadership now, quick. Be short and to the point.
The one that would be most likely to betray you would be Cyanrath. He's the big blue one. If you ask him for a fight, he'll grant it to you. And you can prove that you're stronger than him. And take over.
Tell me about the one you told me about, the two.
Which two? Which one?
That I should tell about the corruption.
You should tell Resmir.
Resmir. What does Resmir look like?
She's the big black one. She's the worm speaker.
Anything else I should know before I leave?
To better serve our queen, we require more function and sustenance.
You need food.
Yes.
I will make sure it happens.
Yes.
But remember, the humans cannot be trusted. Share the word, but only among yourselves.
Yes.
And remind me your name.
Dude, I don't remember. I got it out of my head.
It was
Don't
like-
do this to me.
Sorry.
Grishnar or
Are you
something.
telling
Yeah, I
me you
think that's what it
didn't
was.
think of a name
I
for
didn't think
every
of a
kobold?
name for every kobold. No.
I think it was like
all 100 of
Gloshton
them.
or something. Gloshton.
You said Grishnir, so that's what I'm
anyone
writing down his
watching
name.
remember MVP?
I almost
He's never gonna show up
Audience
again. I'll tell you that.
You, that one.
Oh.
Remember my name, Treshnir. And spread my word.
He nods as if like waiting for a signal to go.
I'll give him a nod and I'll walk away.
Okay. He starts running out to the nearest other group, and you see them start talking, and then them kind of dividing up into other groups.
Alright.
And as you start walking back to area 2, the higher area where the humans are, you hear from behind you a large horn coming from the guard tower. And as you turn around and then look forward, all the humans are looking in your direction too.
Already?
Yep. The horn blew. And it's a little while to walk up the path.
Yeah.
And if a group close to you kind of all like gets their weapons out, what happened?
How far away are the kobolds?
Oh, a ways back. I mean, since you sent them running and everything and down the hill, to give you an exact measurement, like it's more than like 400 feet.
What do you mean? What happened? I didn't blow the horn. Didn't you blow the horn?
We could all see you down there.
I understand. I was just told to go.
I want to come running up to the group that's gathering. And be like,
Okay.
what's going on? Did they see something? And I'm gonna start running down the path.
Okay. A few of them are gonna follow. 2 of them are gonna stay.
The kobold I was talking to, his name's Greshner. He was just complaining about their lack of food.
You see, also at this point, the large tent, a flat showing open, 2 half-dragons, taller than every other humanoid around, walk out. One with a very large spear, the other dressed in purple robes holding a book, as well as a more humanoid race, also in deep purple robes holding what looks almost like a glaive. These people from you, probably about 300 feet, so they're not quite up to you.
What colors are they?
The half-dragons?
Black and blue?
Black and blue.
Okay, that makes sense.
And they
One of these
are
dumb
starting
kobolds must have misunderstood.
towards where the horn was blown and where this crowd is gathering. As some of them are racing down the hill towards the kobolds, some of them aren't. You're continuing downward as well?
Yeah, I'm just running towards the guard tower. I'm gonna
Okay.
start shouting, "What is it? What'd you see?"
Okay. What are you doing in response to these inquiries?
The 2 half-dragons aren't there yet, right? They're starting to walk.
They're coming towards you.
In response to that, I'll just say, the kobolds needed food, and they're upset. I'm trying to keep the peace.
We give them what they deserve.
I understand, but you realize there's over 100 of them down here.
And you start hearing from below chants of, "Stranger! Traitor in the camp!"
Thought this kid was scared.
From behind?
Yeah. And you're starting to get surrounded with guards.
Well,
There are a few key things in that conversation that could definitely tell you weren't a member of the cult. But they start to surround you and say, "Put down your weapons."
I have no weapon.
You don't have one? You should.
Don't you have your sword?
Oh, I do. I mean, it's just on my side. I'll
Yeah.
just drop it.
Okay. They're coming forward and starting to tie bands around you.
I did nothing. What is the matter?
At this point, calling from on the other side, the blue half-dragons. "Who is this?
My name is Treshnir.
When did you join up with us?"
Years. I mean, I was there at Grinnest.
Grennis was yesterday. Yours is before.
That's what I'm saying. I was part of that group that was there. I came back today.
I don't recognize you, but I don't recognize most. When did you join up?
I don't know. Perhaps a year ago?
Doubtful.
Why is that doubtful?
A year ago, we didn't recruit many. You would be in robes at this point, hopefully. Tie him up for questions.
Crap. My bad, guys. I screwed up. I thought I was big brain over here.
It's okay.
Humanoid
I already made my
person
move to
says,
get the heck out of
"Wait."
Dodge. So
Let me speak with him. And walks up.
Who is this?
This is a humanoid female.
I bet it's Master.
She's got short black hair, and she's the one that was holding the glaive.
Or actually, maybe not. Maybe that's Resmir probably.
Sorry, there's a specific part about this. Sorry. Tell me, why did you join us so long ago?
May I speak plainly?
Yes.
I wish to worship our queen, Tiamat, and I'll say that in Draconic.
As many. But what brought you to her?
Her power. How could you possibly be immortal in this realm and not choose to worship the most powerful being of any realm imaginable?
I understand. Go ahead and make a deception check.
Come on, baby. No!
What'd you roll?
An 11.
Slip him a rock, quick.
I'm all the way on the opposite side of the can.
Throws a rock for a cross.
Hail Mary.
I don't think spiders can throw.
Does she have a stat sheet? She should.
Yeah, I've got a -4 to
Dude,
strength.
that was so close to being an 18, too.
That would have been rad, dude. Just clutch.
Dang it.
Luke, I have a question.
Yeah.
Because as everyone's in this chaos, I'm kind of trying to slip off into the lengthening shadows of the sun starting to go down a little bit.
Okay.
I'm going to look over at our prisoner situation
Yes.
and see how well guarded Ugthug is right now with all this chaos going on.
There are probably about 3 guards around the prisoners at this point that have kept their position, and since the prisoners are kind of up against the cliff face, it's not too hard for them to have a wide view of their surroundings. What did you roll for your deception?
11.
11? Okay, that means I do have to make sure I know what her stats are.
Yeah, sorry.
Roll 1.
Roll 1. That would be really clutch, actually.
She blindly trusts you.
She says she has a stat sheet, I just can't find it. Oh, there it is.
Hey, Luke. Can you roll a 1?
Would you please?
Please.
She takes her glaive and kind of points it at you, just barely scratching just the edge of your cheek, and says, almost. Put him with the others. And you are clasped in irons and dragged over to the prisoner area. And she looks about the campsite. You're not right there.
I ran off with the animals.
Where would Mealy be in this time?
Like I said, I've kind of slunk to the back of the gathering crowd, whoever's like coming to check this out.
Okay.
And I'm trying to kind of like be on the outskirts, kind of hiding in the shadows, try to disappear. I'm not a part of this.
Luke, by the way,
yeah.
Disguise Stealth specifically says the changes wrought by this spell fail to hold up to physical inspection.
So
that's why she touched you with the glaive.
That's what I'm saying.
As they touched you, they would have felt feather rather than skin.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
I understand.
Mealy, make me a charisma check, just general.
A charisma?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's use this one.
Man, I thought it was cooked.
6.
6. Just passes the passive DC you needed.
Let's go!
Oh,
book
dear.
Specifically clarifies a 5 or higher.
For what? Her to recognize you?
For someone in the crowd to recognize you from the encounters. She turns to everyone else.
But
and
he's
says,
disguised, so.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I shouldn't have even had you roll. Turns to the rest of the group and says, everyone's dismissed. Go back to work. And if we find any other traitors, we will join him in the execution tomorrow morning.
Oh no!
That implies there's more than one execution.
Yeah.
And the crowd slowly disperses. As you go to the front, most of the kobolds will just get to the crowd and warn them, there's a traitor in the camp. He told us not to respect Master... names.
Resmir?
Yeah, Resmir. Thank you. And after she also goes down and talks with the kobolds, Resmir and Cyanrath kind of walk back to the tent and everything. But it all kind of gets easily resolved.
Other than him getting chained.
And she does walk past you, and since you were the first to respond, says, thank you for being so quick on your feet.
Just jumpy after all last night.
That makes
Thank
sense. Here, she hands you 1 gold piece and says, drink a little extra on me.
Appreciate it.
Okay. We're going to jump over to the spider, who, after checking out the area closest to the entrance and getting a decent feel for what the cave vibe is, hears this horn and a bit of commotion outside. What would you do?
Go deeper.
Okay. Really going to make this fun. Okay.
Never split the party. Never split the party.
Yeah,
always split the
And
I
now
don't
we
think he'll
have
be
half our
seen.
parties in chains.
Well, that's why I ran off, so I wouldn't get implicated. Because I knew I couldn't bluff, so I was like, in case I got a bolt.
Area that you have come into, you continue deeper into a space that has a little bit of a narrowing until a dead end, and then off on your left-hand side some stairs that continue up to a higher area, but being on the ceiling, you can see into that area. It seems like that entrance, those stairs, leads to a cave that has, this protrusion of fungi on the ground. Some of them are just a few inches high. Some of them are as tall as full adult-grown humans. They're all various different colors, although very vibrant in their natures. I'm going to turn the music down just a tad. But there are a couple of paths that do lead through the fungi on the ground in case you need them later. You're on the ceiling, so you can just go over the whole thing if you would like to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to make sure that I have enough time to go back, so internally trying to keep track of how long a half an hour has been.
Okay.
And then once I hit that point, immediately return.
Okay, so I'll say at this point it's been a total of 15 minutes probably. Okay. As you continue a little further in. This next area that you get into, it is similar to what the entrance was like, although the light is definitely dying off as you go further into the cave and getting darker. As well as you see along the ceiling that you are traversing a large colony of bats that have taken residence up here. Especially with it getting later on in the day, they're starting to awaken. And this would definitely be hard to get through as a little spider.
Yeah.
Especially since bats like to eat insects a lot of the time.
They're on the roof, or on like the ceiling. Mm-hmm. Am I still in the fungi area, or am I?
No, you have passed all the fungi at this point. The ground is fairly barren, not too much there. It's mostly just like open corridor for them to walk through. And you do see a couple of kobolds kind of just like chatting as they walk through this chamber, but not really stopping or paying much heed to anything nearby. You do notice that they quiet down a little bit in their conversation. Almost as if not to wake them.
Not to wake the bats?
Possibly.
Okay. I'm going to move from my position on the ceiling to like the crack between the floor and the wall.
Okay.
And go along that way into the next space.
Okay. Could you make me a stealth check?
Yep. That's a nat 20 for 24.
Okay.
Nice.
You're a tiny little spider. You almost completely disappear in that crack, and your movement isn't even noticed as you continue. Getting to the other side of the room, you would have options to go left, forward, or right.
Let's go left.
Okay.
Hug the left wall, my man.
This is still fairly open, but as you enter into this area, it definitely has two layers to it. You see from your vantage point one layer that's higher, or a little lower than the rest of the cave that you've been in so far, and it is definitely a lot darker. Do spiders in their stat block have dark vision?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
But only 30 feet.
Okay, 30 feet of dark vision. I will keep that in mind. You can't quite see into the floor of this lower section, but you do see in the area are a couple of, I think, some sort of drake, as well as kobolds that are guarding whatever this lower area is. There is also iron bars that kind of surround up to where the steps that descend are, and a little gate that keeps people out.
I want to move along the wall up to see what's on the upper level.
So you're already on, this whole cavern has been the upper level.
Oh.
This area goes lower.
Oh, I see.
Sorry.
I see. Okay, I want to go back the way I came.
Okay.
And go down the middle path.
Okay. The middle path has a couple of descent parts, but rather than stairs, it's just ledges that kind of drop off. And you're able to see, sorry, I wasn't prepped for this chapter, so I'm doing a little bit of reading as I go. You're good. Each of these ledges drops about 10 feet, and it seems like as you approach, I don't know how well spiders have a sense of smell, but I'm going to assume you have a regular sense of smell. It's not great smelling here. There are a few bits of discarded clothing here and there, but at the lower level especially, there's a lot of waste. Broken lanterns, scraps of materials, food that even the kobolds thought wasn't good enough for them. This seems to be their trash heap that they have kept down here. And there are a few narrow crevices at the bottom near where the trash is that lead somewhere onward.
And does it like dead end?
Except for those narrow crevices that go into the walls, yes.
Okay, I'll go back and go down the right path.
Okay. You come to another set of steeply descending stairs. And keeping along the ceiling, it's more of a gradual transition into this lower area. But at the base of these stairs, and kind of, you can definitely slip through, but there's a curtain keeping this section away from the rest. It's made from mostly like large leather strips that have all been laid on top of each other, almost hundreds of them. Kind of like one of those drapey, like leathery curtain kind of things that just kind of like you brush through.
Yeah.
And it extends from wall to wall. The leather is really badly cured, but it seems to come from some sort of beasts, and it's not one in particular, it's an amalgamation of a lot of them. And there are several layers, but just enough of a crack at the top that you might be able to slip through.
Okay, I go through.
Okay. As you go through, you notice a significant drop in temperature. This area of the cave is maybe a few degrees above freezing, which is stark difference from the midsummer cold cave atmosphere that you've been in before. I've decided it's summer now, apparently. It was winter last session.
Was it?
I don't remember. Rapid season changes.
I thought it was summer last time.
It does. It's a season.
It is weather right now.
Oh, is it the other game that I'm thinking of? Whatever. It's a season. We exist.
Yep.
Well, I'll confirm it at some point. You notice hanging from the ceiling are multiple chains with hooks on the end holding up carcasses, large amounts of meat, and it seems like this area has been set to be a freezer. The smell of old blood is strong here. The floor even has puddles of the blood, and it seems like they didn't much care to make a mess as they were skinning these creatures and hanging them up.
Can I tell what kind of creatures they are?
It varies. You see things like antelope, goats, maybe even a few cats or bears that have kind of been here or there. The bear ones are a little bit closer to the puddles on the ground, exceeding a little bit of the weight of the chains that they're on. But it definitely is a meat locker of some sort.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going on the ceiling. Is there like an obvious end to the room, or does it keep going?
It seems to be a fully encompassed room,
Okay.
rather than having an exit at this point.
I'm going to go all the way back to the cave entrance.
Okay. At this point, after searching through, I'm going to say the cave, since you kind of gave quick looks, probably took you about 10 minutes. So total about 25, almost 30, not quite.
Okay. So then just heading straight back, staying on the roof as I exit, and then kind of going up along the cliff face.
The cliff face, or like the top of the cliff?
So I came out of the cave, and I want to continue on the same wall as the cave, and going away from the guards.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Yeah? And then, I'm going to go back to where the prisoners are.
Okay. And just as a spider, you're there. There's a new addition. A face you hardly recognize, but remembering it to be what one of your companions turned into. But we'll come to that, because time's a little different.
Yep.
After we talk about what you've been doing in the meantime. And then we'll get back to y'all. So, you, my not polymorph, whatever.
This guy's
friend, what have you been doing with this time? And Ugthug as well. What have you been doing with your time?
They took my rapier.
Yes.
Did they go through my pockets to take my thieves' tools?
I should have mentioned this when you tried the handcuff thing. Your thieves' tools were taken in the village. You were gutted of everything except for your sword and armor,
My bad. You're right.
Which is good. You didn't succeed on the thieves tools check, so it's good that we don't have to retcon it. But
you're good.
Yeah, you don't.
My
have
bad.
those.
I forgot about that. I mean, there's not really anything I can do. So.
Okay.
Should we decide who took his cudgel then? Because he couldn't have walked in with his thing if we thought we were prisoners.
Since you kind of did it in the moment as far as being prisoners and discussed before going in that wasn't the plan you were going to do, the guards took his cudgel.
My cudgel or my
Your maul.
The
maul.
same.
I forgot what you named it. Yeah.
Am I next to him?
Yeah.
I guess I'll talk to Ugthug. Be like,
Nice plan, dumbass.
So what are you
Adequate response.
So what are you in for?
yeah, that was about as shit as a plan could go. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But all we can do is try and focus on the situation right now. Have you tried breaking out of these? Trying to break
I'm
them?
gonna hit him in that response.
You can't. You could try to kick.
I'm gonna kick him.
Just roll me a d20. I just want to see.
17 without any modifiers.
That would hit. Yeah. Are you trying to deal damage or just hit?
I want to deal damage.
Since that's an unarmed strike, that is 1 plus your strength modifier.
5 damage.
Oh my gosh!
You get him pretty decently in the torso.
A response would do.
I'm just not gonna respond.
Okay.
So you just want to die. They're going to kill us tomorrow. You'd rather be petty than try and figure out a way out of this fucking mess.
What do you think I have been doing this whole damn time?
Okay,
You're the one who told me to sit here and play along.
Okay, fair enough. What is your idea?
Oh, how about we break the chains? Oh wait, we can't. There is nothing we can do.
Let's brainstorm then.
Oh, okay, I'm done.
The guards that are nearby. Quiet.
I mean, I'll try and think, but I don't have any ideas right now.
Okay. In the meantime, while you guys are brainstorming up ideas of potential escape strategies, what are you guys
We've
up to?
been
Work
doing the
if I'm
whole
on my
time.
own. I'm gonna head towards the mess hall.
Okay.
I don't know where he went.
There's
Like wherever
there's
the-
like a kitchen serving area rather than like a mess hall. So it's just like outdoors. Here's grub when the time of grub comes.
Get a little bit of food, I guess.
Okay.
You just hang
You're
out.
at a time like this?
Yes. Yeah.
Priority. Melee.
Am I close enough to message them?
If you want to try and hang around,
I would
Mike.
like. I don't want to like go too much out of my way. I want to just barely get close enough to send one message to Corvigo.
Okay.
I just want to say, if you desperately need, we're trying to think of things. If you desperately need us, try to get my attention.
If I need your attention, I will cast Minor Illusion and make it sound like a gong. Do you know what that is? I can do up to 25 words, right?
It's
With
a message.
That's
It's a
message.
short. It says a short.
It's 25.
Well, no, then I won't say that in
A
part.
short message.
Yeah.
I'll just
Whisper
say
a message. Here's the message, and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear.
Yep. It doesn't specify. Sending
Okay.
does, but
Sending, right?
Then I'll just say that then.
okay.
Okay. Then I'm gonna, if I have seen him going towards the kitchen area, then I'm gonna try to follow him and meet up with him down there.
Okay. You definitely can. Eventually, after you finish your meal, a person that seems a little bit higher up.
Before they do that, if he's here talking to me, if we're kind of aside, I'd be like, maybe we can try and get guard duty.
Volunteer for guard duty?
Prisoner guard duty. That's all I can think
How much
of.
time do I have left in my minor illusion? Or in my disguised self?
So time's a little
'Cause
weird.
I can recast
we jumped
if I need
back
to.
a little bit from when you've exited, so you've not yet exited. It's been 20 minutes total, probably.
20 minutes total?
Yeah.
Okay. If we get close, let me know and I will probably recast it.
Okay.
Also, what kind of booze do they have here?
Not a lot of ale because it has to go to a lot of people, but they did score a decent amount in Green Nest.
Did they have like anything bottled that I could take with me?
Nothing bottled. It's more like they're smashing kegs open and draining them out into
Dang.
whatever you might have on hand to have as a receptacle.
I don't have anything on hand to have a receptacle.
I will say make a perception check.
11.
11. Okay.
As I'm there, do I see anyone with like a flask? I want to see if I can buy it off of him.
Okay.
I'm gonna offer him a gold for his flask.
Since he's wanting to get drunk tonight, he's gonna keep hold of his flask. He's tired. He wants it.
You don't need a flask. Just get a mug.
That's what I got.
If I go get a mug and come back, can I offer him the mug and the gold for his
Maybe.
flask? I want to try doing that then.
Where are you getting the mug from?
I don't know. Is there just one around?
No. I mean, most of the treasure, there is some off to the side of the camp that's still being sorted to be putting in, but
I just figured they'd have like dishes over at this meal place.
No, I mean, they're mostly hiring people that already live kind of camp lifestyles.
Well, then I didn't even eat because I don't have a flippin' plate or mess kit. Alright, well.
If you would have come up to the counter, not counter, whatever the area is, and they like said, all right, where's your bowl or whatever, and you said, oh, I don't have one, they'd probably say, we probably got a few that we stole from the town. Why don't you go ask him if you can loot through it and get a bowl?
Okay, I would go ask that then.
Okay. You would be given permission under careful watch, and with your check of 11, you do notice in this supplies area a few recognizable items off to one side of it. That's where your guys' supplies have been taken.
Okay.
But you are under careful watch.
Yeah. I'll just rifle through. Yeah, basically get a mess kit. Is there a flask here?
There's like a mug. Yeah, you can get a mug.
Just a mug? Okay, well then I'd go back, I would eat, and I would get a mug of ale, and I'm going to try and buy this dude's flask off of him.
Okay, you can.
Okay, and I'm going to get that filled with some booze, and then meet up with Mealy.
Okay.
It's good info.
You did a lot of walking around over there.
Well, it's a plan I got brewing. Now we need to get try and get ourselves assigned to guard duty. It looks like they had 3 guys over there, so we need another guy to go with us, and I have a plan to get rid of him.
Well, we botched our last 2 other guys that we had, so...
Yeah, well, when I say another guy, it's just going to be a random guy.
As you're kind of conversing and like going through your meal, someone walks over and says, hey, we're low on prisoners. We need you guys to fill in for some work. Yeah,
Master Resmir said I could drink myself silly. What do you need?
I don't think you talked to Resmir.
I did.
Cleanup duty after you finish your meal.
Where at?
The animals inside some of the by the guard towers have been less than sanitary.
Can we make the prisoners do it? They saw him drag in a big old half orc. He could do it.
We'll get him for something else.
Freaking ridiculous.
I'll find you after you finish. And then walks off.
Where's Granny? She could help with these animals.
Perhaps we can cause a distraction by letting the animals loose.
Since it would take you longer than 10 minutes probably to eat your meal, we go back to what you're doing.
Okay, so it's been
25 total minutes since you entered camp, which is a lot happening in that amount of time.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
How dark is it outside?
At this point, the sun itself isn't visible in the horizon, but some of the light is, and still illuminating the sky. So it's that like twilight pre-dusk kind of light level.
Is there somewhere directly near, like in a direct path towards where the prisoners are, either above or off to a side, that has a place I can conceal myself as Granny?
If you just follow the cliff face a little bit further towards the prisoners, there is a heap of boulders kind of at the base of the cliff that you could probably, with some careful thinking about why you might have been there, if anyone asks, you could use it as a place to change back.
Okay, I'm going to go there and change back.
Now, question for you, 2 at a time. Number 1, is Disguise Self a concentration spell?
I'll look it.
I think so.
I'm planning on not being disguised.
It is.
You're just going to be Granny,
Yeah.
so you're going to drop it if it exists.
It is not concentration.
Okay, because you could... I don't know how wild shape...
I don't either. I was assuming I wouldn't be.
I will say that since I don't know otherwise at the moment, if you would like to turn back into your disguised form, you can.
I don't.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go into that boulder heap and change back into Granny.
Okay.
Wild shape lasts a number of hours equal to your druid level, rounded down. Half level.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Okay.
It was more of a does wild shape overwrite disguise?
Oh,
right.
But we were assuming it
My
doesn't.
bad.
But he's being Granny anyway.
Where does it go? Okay. How long do I have to take for a short rest? An hour?
A full hour, yeah.
I want to start taking a short rest.
Behind the rocks?
Yes.
Okay.
These are my possible plans to get us out of this.
Okay. Ogthug and Corvego, anything specifically you want to do?
Well, part of me wants to ask him again if he's actually tried to break out, but I don't know if he has.
Cleo to like attack the guards and
I
disappear.
mean, what would we do if we actually broke out?
But I don't know if that'd be much of a...
Find an opportunity to leave.
Disappear.
With all these guards around?
It's better than staying here to die.
I guess I'll do a strength roll to try to break my chains.
Okay. You are restrained. Does restrained?
I
give
would
any-
warn him first. It's best to not.
I
be
mean, on the thing in the manacles, it says you have
you're
you
right.
can break them.
Yeah,
so
but
I just
he's
assume-
I'll
also
go
tied up
somewhere
with
high
ropes.
before
as
I-
well.
I'm just telling you, try to be careful, like quiet.
Can't really break metal quietly.
I understand.
Disadvantage on
Just
dex
try
saving,
your
nothing for
best.
strength check.
Thank you. Go ahead and roll a strength check for me to break out.
Attack rolls have disadvantage,
Yeah.
but not.
How about you do
Minor illusion.
minor illusion?
That's my plan.
That you're not breaking.
No, like a sound over there to get like do the chain, do a similar chain sound over there.
The classic
was
tuba
my
noise
plan.
to distract the fart.
Exactly.
Count down
sure you
from
time them
3,
at the
and I'll
same
cast it
time.
on 3.
Okay.
How far away is like is there like the mess hall?
There
where
are
this
tents
is?
nearby that the prisoners are kind of like
Tuba noise in the
tethered
tents.
near. So that would be the nearest thing to you that you could reliably make a sound by and it be like it makes sense.
Okay. When I do this,
Since you guys have gotten a decent look at the camp, I'm going to show the map just to you guys, or I could put it on the TV screen.
Oh, that would be great.
That would be awesome.
just so you
superb.
know, when I
That will
cast this minor
severely
illusion,
change how I view
I'm gonna
this
make it
entire
sound like-
situation.
Yes.
2 like humans in this
It will
camp
let
are
me view
fighting.
this
Okay.
situation.
Like one would scream like, "Hey, what are you doing?" or something like that.
Never should have
Or not that. That would be. Or like the sound of someone like punching something, you know.
Dear, this is a tiny, tiny image. Hang on. Oh, that's one's
You have
way
a fourth
better.
idea?
5 ideas. None of them are that
Oh,
good,
5.
but I got
Okay.
5
I have an
ideas.
I've got
idea.
an idea.
You guys entered from over here.
Okay.
Oh, I need to share this with the freaking.
Is that other guard tower
that's
able to
okay.
see up
That's
over the
fine.
top of that
Yeah.
cliff?
I think it can see just over because it is a 20-foot tall tower.
Okay.
Y'all entered from over here. Level 1 is the kobolds and all their tents.
Uh-huh.
Level 2 is all the humans. This is the big tent. This is probably ish where you got your food. The prisoners are over here.
Okay, I can only cast it up to 30 feet, so I would just try and do it by like a nearby tent.
Okay. The map we're looking at for anyone watching that wants to follow along is the Raiders Camp map in the Tyranny of Dragons module. You can also find it on Google Images.
Is 4 the cave I went into?
Yes.
Okay.
2 is big tent. I don't see where number 3 is.
It's down below.
Oh,
Level
yeah, I
2
see
tent.
that. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if it's specified.
I'll click when you're ready. You count down, and I'll cast it on 3.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay, count down.
3, 2, 1.
Knowing that I said on 3, but I would do it on 1.
I know. What'd you get?
Dirty 20.
Hey, you hear, because you're paying attention to it, a small snap noise. Your manacles are undone. Your arms are still tied together, and your arms and your torso is tied to a post.
Did Carson even tie it that hard?
The worst part is
Okay.
dealt with.
I mean, so my arms are just loose now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not loose, but like.
They're a little loose. That's
My
what
hands.
Carson tied.
Yeah.
But the rope's only lightly tied.
So you could easily get rid of like your arm ropes, but
There's guards around.
yeah.
So I'm not going to do
Heck
that
yeah.
at the moment. Unless the guards got distracted by the guys fighting.
No, I mean, since minor illusion is only a couple seconds of something, then like kind of look over and then kind of ignore it if the sound stops.
Okay.
You do hear very quietly behind you. Whatever you're planning, just don't draw too much attention. And it's the half-elf figure that is tied up.
Oh, what's his name?
No, it's a different guy.
Oh. We haven't talked to this guy, right?
No.
It's not Nessim?
Sorry, it's Nessim was the guy back at town that told you to go find his master Leosin.
I thought it was the other way around.
Oh.
But okay.
Leosin.
Yeah.
This isn't Leosin.
No, because
This
I made
is
the plan
Leosin.
that we're going to nest them up
Oh, yeah.
last session.
Right, okay. I had it backwards the whole time.
Yeah, I had
Sorry.
it backwards too. So
I knew who you were talking about. But
Leosin's the
Leosin
monk
is
guy.
this monk guy that is tied up here.
Okay.
And he's not the one talking.
He is the one talking.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's what I was wondering.
I'll tell. I know you're Leosin. And I'm whispering.
Were you the one that talked to me earlier?
That was. Well, I don't know who talked to you earlier. It's probably one of our companions. There's a few.
There are more of you.
Oh, yes. They're roaming around.
It sounds like there's a whole army.
Oh, yes.
There are 5 of us, and 2 of us are chained up.
On the dawn of the third day, look to the east, and I will be there.
Oh, dear. You won't let
This is basically Helm's Deep back in here, dude. We're gonna get
true.
Gandalf's coming. Gandalf! Luke's level 20 wizard DMPC is gonna come in and save the day.
Why are you here?
To get you.
And our stuff back.
He whispers that. I'm not going to say that.
I mean, he would have. You all are all whispering, so that's kind of the tone of it. I don't need to rescue you. My plan is to sneak out when the time is right. I'm still here gathering information.
Oh, dude's a
Which
freaking
has been a lot harder than I thought it would be.
I have information. What do you need? What do you know?
A lot. I'm hoping for a little more, but you've resorted to not giving me food or water, which has made things a lot more difficult.
I'm going to try and whisper, and in short words, I know there's a cult to Tiamat. I know the name of the blue one, the black one. And unfortunately, that is about it.
I know of the black one you speak of and the blue. There's also a human, or half-elf. It's a little unclear. But they seem to be the bigger figures here. And he kind of quiets a little bit as a guard kind of looks around and then looks back. If I'm able to find out more, where should I meet you if you escape?
That is a great question.
Also, the whisper is part him whispering, part this is all he can muster to get out.
Yeah.
You can tell this is coming with a wheeze. This guy is beat almost
how he
within
thinks he's
an
gonna
inch of his
escape.
life.
There's a path out of here. With
execute him in the morning.
I don't know how many miles it would have been. I'd basically just try and describe where that our rendezvous point we decided was. I'll try and my best to describe where that is.
All right. I might be able to make it there. I don't know what else I'm going to learn. But here's what I know. Most of this group seems to be hired on vagabonds and ruffians. The half dragons, the black one, was here a few months ago, and she started this camp here. The humanoid woman takes care of the day-to-day, and the blue one is strange. Despite being in this evil group, he seems to have a strange sense of honor, and a bit of a fighting spirit.
That is what I gathered from the kobolds as well.
He doesn't shy away from battles, and he's not one you want to make angry. They are indeed trying to bring back Tiamat, but I don't know how they think they're going to. As if it was something that a group like this could do, it would have already been done.
I mean, obviously, it's something to do with their horde.
I suppose. I know that they're storing most of their gatherings in that cave, the back of the camp. I don't know how big it is, but they've gathered a lot over a long amount of time. I know Green Nest was only their most recent plunder.
Well, if I was in the chains, I would go check it for myself.
Have to make it through all the guards.
You know, normally I'm a lot better at this. Today is just not my day.
Well, it's not mine either.
Yeah. Stick in there. I know it's hard, but we'll figure out a way.
With this group divided, being unsure of the next steps to take, we are a little short on time since one of us has to catch some public transport. But
Yes,
we're going
a
to end our
whole
session.
week to plan. Let's go.
Take some time throughout the week to think about what you want to do.
Yeah.
I want to confirm with our players before we wrap up that we will be playing next Wednesday.
I'll be around.
Cool. Next
Should be.
Wednesday, same start time. We'll make an announcement somewhere, but you can also find it on our Twitch channel. See you all next week.
Send help.
Send help. Have an
us
awesome
ideas.
day. Hope you guys just vibe. Bye.